You and your friends always smoke to rap music, but tonight, one of them switches the playlist to instrumentals. He starts freestyling first, and it is honestly terrible, but everybody nods anyway because being high lowers the standards. Then, your other friend jumps in, and somehow, he is even worse. Now, the beat turns to you. At first, you miss the rhythm completely because you have never actually done this before. Then, something clicks, and the words start showing up out of nowhere. You are not thinking anymore. You're just catching the beat and letting it carry you. For 1 minute, in one smoky room, you sound way better than anyone expected. Then the beat cuts off, and the room goes quiet for a second. Your friends look at you different now, because just like that, you became the freestyle guy. After enough smoke session freestyles, you stop treating it like a joke and decide to record your first real song. You pull up YouTube, type in a beat search, and grab the first instrumental that feels close to who you think you are. You do not know anything about song structure, mixing, mastering, or what a good hook is supposed to do. All you know is that when the beat drops, you still feel that same little spark you felt in the room with your friends. So you record straight into your phone, awkward takes, bad timing, random punch-ins, and all. The song is rough, unfinished, and probably worse than you think, but it sounds real enough to make you believe in it. That is when you make the jump every rapper makes at the beginning. You post it anyway. The upload gives you a weird kind of confidence, because now the fantasy is no longer private. Nobody really cares yet, but in your head, this is the first real proof that you might actually be one of them. The freestyle guy disappears the second you put your voice on a beat, because now you are the SoundCloud Rapper. After a few weeks SoundCloud drops and a few hundred pity streams, you realize raw confidence is not enough anymore. For the first time, you stop fantasizing about blowing up and start thinking about getting better. Now you are learning what a hook is, what a verse is, how to stay on beat, and why your old songs sounded unfinished. You start hearing your own mistakes in real time, which is embarrassing, but also the first sign that your ear is improving. So you keep recording, keep deleting, keep retrying, and for the first time, the process starts to matter more than the fantasy. The setup is still cheap, the room is still small, and the whole thing still looks amateur from the outside. But now, there is structure in what you are making, and structure is the first thing that makes amateur ambition sound real. Then, one night, you make your first song that does not just feel good in your head. It actually sounds decent out loud. It is not a hit. It is not polished. And it is definitely not industry level. But it finally sounds like the beginning of something. That is when the SoundCloud Rapper becomes the bedroom studio rapper. After enough decent songs, your name starts moving around, just enough for people in your city to recognize it. You start meeting other rappers and producers who are chasing the exact same thing you are. Now, it is not just you and your bedroom anymore. It is sessions, collabs, and long nights around people who actually care. Some of them are better than you. Some of them are worse, but all of them force you to level up. The music gets better because the standards around you get higher. Then, you do your first live performance, and for the first time, the music has to survive outside your headphones. The crowd is not huge, but it is real, and that changes everything. A few people know the words, a few people follow you after, and now the fans are not imaginary anymore. It is still small, still local, and still fragile, but it finally feels like something outside of you is starting to move. That is when the bedroom studio rapper becomes the underground rapper. By now, you have been doing this long enough that nobody can call it a phase anymore. You have real songs, real experience, and just enough local success for people to start saying your name with weight. The money is not life-changing, but it is real, and that changes how seriously you take yourself. You have a fan base now, not huge, but big enough that your drops, shows, and moves actually matter to people. There is buzz around your name, and in your city, people start talking like you might be the next one to break out. The illusion is that local fame feels close enough to real fame that it starts messing with your judgment. Because outside your city, most people still do not know who you are at all. You are still unsigned, still building, still betting on momentum that has not fully crossed over yet. But your stock is clearly rising, and even if you never fully blow, your impact on your city is already permanent. That is when the underground rapper becomes the local star. After years of grinding, one song finally breaks through hard enough to escape your city. People start making TikToks to it, and for the first time, your music is moving through strangers instead of just supporters. Then your favorite Instagram model posts it on her story, and suddenly, the whole thing feels real in a different way. That is the moment the local dream starts turning into mainstream crossover. Labels that ignored you for years finally start calling, because success makes everyone sound interested at once. Now, there are real offers on the table, with money that looks life-changing when you have spent years making almost nothing. Everything you ever imagined starts crowding your head at the same time. Money, status, freedom, and finally being known. The illusion is that this is the finish line, when really, it is just the moment the stakes become professional. Because once the machine steps in, the music is not just yours anymore. It becomes an asset with pressure attached to it. That is when the local star becomes the signed rapper. You did it, because after a decade of work, doubt, misses, and almost quitting, the whole thing finally breaks wide open. The same kid who used to get high and freestyle with his friends is now topping charts and moving through rooms like he belongs there. You are doing features with artists you grew up listening to, and the distance between fan and peer disappears in real time. The money changes fast, too, because one club appearance now pays more than some people make in a year. Your jewelry alone is worth more than some people's houses, which is exactly the kind of number that stops feeling fake once it belongs to you. The illusion is that this level feels like pure celebration, like the whole story finally resolves into comfort. But the truth is that once you become a rap star, your life stops being private and starts being public property. Every move gets priced, every absence gets noticed, and every mistake gets magnified, because now the whole culture is paying attention. Still, there is no denying it. The life you spent years seeing on screens is finally yours. That is when the signed rapper becomes the rap star. By now, you have been famous for so long that the old version of you almost feels like somebody else's life. Money is normal now. Fame is normal now. And the life you once obsessed over has become your baseline. But at some point, you realize that just being rich and famous is not enough if you are still thinking like an artist and not building like an owner. So you start treating your success like capital, carefully putting money into assets, businesses, and rooms that can outlive the music itself. And because you remember exactly how hard the climb was, you start doing everything you can to put on the people who were with you from day one. The illusion is that this rank is just rap star plus more money. When really, it is an entirely different way of moving through the world. You are not just making songs anymore. You are building systems, shaping careers, and deciding where opportunity flows next. At this point, you are no longer just an artist. You are a brand, a machine, and a force of nature with real leverage behind your name. Now, you have your own label, and the same kind of kid you used to be is walking into your office hoping you see something in him. That is when the rap star becomes the mogul, because you are no longer just living the dream. You are in a position to manufacture it for other people.